Chapter 17. Direct and Indirect Speech. A. Read the following sentences. 1. Saisha said, I am doing my homework now. Reporting verb, reporting speech. 2. Saisha said that she was doing her homework then. These two sentences illustrate the two ways in which we may report the words of the speaker. In the first sentence, we give the exact actual words used by the speaker. This is called direct speech or narration. Note: in the first sentence, said is called the reporting verb and I am doing my homework is called the reported speech or narration. In the second sentence, we do not give the exact words of the speaker but give only the substance of what he/she said. This is called indirect speech or narration. B. Notice the changes made in turning the above direct speech to indirect. 1. The exact word of the speaker are put within inverted commas. 2. The first word of the reported speech begins with a capital letter. 3. A comma is placed after the reporting verb to separate it from the second part of the sentence. 4. In the indirect speech, the reported words are not placed within inverted commas. 5. No comma is placed after the reporting verb in the indirect speech. 6. The reported speech is introduced by the conjunction that. 7. The verb am is changed into was. The tense of the verb in the reported speech is changed from the present to the past. 8. The adverb now is changed to then. C. Rules for changing direct speech into indirect speech. A. Change of tenses. Rule 1. If the reporting verb is in the present or future tense, the tense of the verb in the reported speech is not changed at all. Examples: direct. He says, Geeta is a good singer. Indirect. He says that Geeta is a good singer. Direct. Ashok will say, dinner is ready. Indirect. Ashok will say that dinner is ready. Rule 2. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, the verb in the reported speech is also changed into the corresponding past tense. Thus, 1. Simple present becomes simple past. Present continuous becomes past continuous. Present perfect becomes past perfect. Present perfect continuous becomes past perfect continuous. 2. Simple past becomes past perfect. Past continuous becomes past perfect continuous. 3. Can becomes could. May becomes might. Shall becomes should. Will becomes would. Examples: direct. Pinky said Rinky works very hard. Indirect. Pinky said that Rinky worked very hard. Direct. Anil said Satish swims daily. Indirect. Anil said that Satish swam daily. Direct. He said Vinod is playing. Indirect. He said that Vinod was playing. Direct. Shreya said all the girls are playing. Indirect. Shreya said that all the girls were playing. Direct. Anu said Manu has done his work. Indirect. Anu said that Manu has done his work. Direct. Riya said Priya has been playing for an hour. Indirect. Riya said that Priya has been playing for an hour. Direct. Rajan said Sajan wrote a beautiful poem. Indirect. Rajan said that Sajan had written a beautiful poem. Direct. He said all were laughing at the beggar. Indirect. He said that all had been laughing at the beggar. Direct. She said I can speak French fluently. Indirect. She said that she could speak French fluently. Direct. He said it may rain heavily. Indirect. He said that it might rain heavily. Direct. He said I shall go there. Indirect. He said that he would go there. Direct. I said I shall try to help her. Indirect. I said that I should try to help her. Direct. I said they will water the plants. Indirect. I said that they would water the plants. Rule 3. 1. Exception to Rule 2. If the reported speech contains some universal or habitual or a past historical fact, then the simple present in the reported speech is not changed into the corresponding simple past but remains unchanged. Examples. Direct. The teacher said, honesty is the best policy. Indirect. The teacher said that honesty is the best policy. Direct. He said the earth moves round the sun. Indirect. He said that the earth moves round the sun. Direct. She said God loves all his creation. Indirect. She said that God loves all his creation. Direct. He said India became free in 1947. Indirect. He said that India became free in 1947. 2. Note that the simple past or the past continuous tense is not changed if the reported speech states two actions that took place at the same time. Examples. Direct. She said Anita sang while Mohini danced. Indirect. She said that Anita sang while Mohini danced. Direct. He said Sham was studying while Prem was playing. Indirect. He said that Sham was studying while Prem was playing. 3. When the verb in the direct speech is the past tense of an auxiliary, no change is required. Examples. Direct. He said Ravi could not lift the box. Indirect. He said that Ravi could not lift the box. Direct. She said they might stay a little longer. Indirect. She said that they might stay a little longer. B. Change of personal pronouns. Rule 1. The pronouns of the first person in the reported speech are changed into those of the same person as that of the subject of the reporting verb. Examples. Direct. I said I am hungry. Indirect. I said that I was hungry. Direct. You said I am late. Indirect. You said that you were late. Direct. You said we are doing our work. Direct. You said that you were doing your work. Direct. He said I am quite well. Indirect. He said that he was quite well. Direct. They said we are reading our lessons. Indirect. They said that they were reading. Rule 2. The pronouns of the second person in the reported speech are changed into those of the person of the noun or pronoun that comes after the reporting verb. Examples. Direct. I said to him, you are a good boy. Indirect. I told him that he was a good boy. Direct. You said to me, you cannot finish the work in time. Indirect. You told me that I could not finish the work in time. Direct. He said to me, you must work hard. Indirect. He told me that I must work hard. Rule 3. The pronouns of the third person generally remain unchanged. Examples. Direct. She said to me, he has learnt his lesson. Indirect. She told me that he had learnt his lesson. Direct. I said to him, they will water the plants. Indirect. I told him that they would water the garden. C. Change of words showing nearness. While changing a sentence from direct to indirect speech, words showing nearness in time and place are generally changed into those denoting distance. Thus, now becomes then, these becomes those, hither becomes thither, thus becomes so or in that way, tomorrow becomes the next day, last night becomes the previous night or the night before, tonight becomes that night, henceforth becomes thenceforth, ago becomes before, this becomes that, here becomes there, hence becomes thence, today becomes that day, yesterday becomes the previous day or the day before, last week becomes the previous week, month or year becomes month or year, next week becomes the following week. hereby becomes thereby. Examples: direct. He said to me, your friend came yesterday. Indirect. He told me that my friend had come the previous day. Direct. I said to him, you may see me tomorrow. Indirect. I told him that he might see me the next day. Direct. Couple said, I cannot play now. Indirect. Couple said that he could not play then. Note: if this, here and now in the direct speech refer to the objects present at the time of reporting the speech indirectly, or to the place of time at which the speech is reported indirectly, they remain unchanged as direct. He says, this is my pen. Indirect. He says that this is the pen before the speaker, his pen. Direct. He said to me, I shall see you here tomorrow. Indirect. He told me that he would see me here the next day. This speech is reported on the same spot. D. Conversion of assertive sentences from direct to indirect. Notice the change to be made. 1. The reporting verb say is changed to tell, inform, answer, remark, declared, reply, etc. if there is an object after it, otherwise it remains unchanged. 2. The inverted commas are removed and conjunction that is used before the reported speech. 3. Nouns or pronouns in the vocative case used for address are made the objects of the reporting verb. 4. The objective form of the noun or pronoun me, us, you, him, her, them is used after the reporting verb. Examples: direct. She said to me, I do not like your friends. Indirect. She told me that she did not like my friends. Direct. The teacher said, Akash, you are an active boy. Indirect. The teacher told Akash that he was an active boy. Direct. The teacher said, I shall take my class today. Indirect. The teacher said that she would take her class that day. Direct. Father said to me, you are just like your sister. Indirect. Father told me that I was just like my sister. Direct. The principal said, Anil is intelligent. Indirect. The principal remarked that Anil was intelligent. Direct. The Prime Minister said, India will fight to the last man. Indirect. The Prime Minister declared that India would fight to the last man. E. Conversion of interrogative sentences from direct to indirect speech. 1. The reporting verb say is changed into ask or inquire, etc. if there is an object after the reporting verb. 2. Remove the inverted commas and start the reported speech with the conjunction if or whether. 3. Change the interrogative form of the reported speech into assertive form. 4. If the question begins with a question word who, what, which, why, how, etc., no conjunction is used to connect the reported speech with the principal clause. Examples: direct. The hostess said to the guest, would you like to have a cup of coffee? Indirect. The hostess asked the guest if he would like to have a cup of coffee. Direct. The guest said to me, is your mother at home? Indirect. The guest asked me whether my mom was at home. Direct. The teacher said to the students, why are you making a noise? Indirect. The teacher inquired of the students why they were making a noise. Direct. Monica said to Alka, why are you late? Indirect. Monica inquired of Alka why she was late. Direct. The teacher said to the boy, which is the biggest city in India? Indirect. The teacher asked the boy which the biggest city in India was. Direct. I said to him, how is your father now? Indirect. I inquired of him how his father was then. F. Conversion of imperative sentences from direct to indirect speech. The following changes are made. 1. The reporting verb is changed to order, command, advise, forbid, request, beg, ask, threaten, etc. in accordance with the sense that the sentence conveys. 2. the verb in the reported speech is changed into infinite. That is, we use to while removing inverted commas and the tense is governed by to. 3. Sometimes an object is to be supplied to the reporting verb from the context. Examples: direct. The teacher said to the students, "Don't waste your time in idle gossip." Indirect. The teacher forbade the boys to waste their time in idle gossip. Direct. The thief said to magistrate, "Pardon me this time, sir." Indirect. The thief respectively begged the magistrate to pardon him that time. Direct. I said to my servant, "Run to the post office and post this letter." Indirect. I ordered my servant to run to the post office and post that letter. Direct. I said, "Please lend me rupees 100. Indirect. I requested him to lend me rupees 100. G. Use of let in imperative sentences. Let is used 1. To make a proposal. 2. To allow or to persuade. 3. To express concession or contrast. 1. When let expresses a proposal or suggestion, the reporting verb is changed to purpose, to propose or suggest, and let is replaced by should as direct. I said to him, "Let's play." Indirect. I proposed or suggested to him that we should play. 2. When let means to allow or persuade, it is changed to infinitive to let or to the phrase "might be allowed to" as direct. I said to him, "Let me have my own way in that matter." Indirect. I requested him to let me have my own way in that matter. Or I requested him that I might be allowed to have my own way in that matter. 3. When let expresses concession or contrast, it is changed to might as direct. I said, "Let him try ever so hard, he will not succeed." Indirect. I said, "He would not succeed however hard he might try." H. Conversion of exclamatory and optative sentences from direct to indirect speech. Rules for change into indirect speech. 1. Change the reporting verb to exclaimed, wished or prayed. 2. Do away the words such as hurrah, alas, bravo and express their sense by use of joy, sorrow or applaud. 3. Change the exclamatory sentences to assertive. 4. Change of pronouns and tenses as before. Hurrah, ha, express joy. Alas, express grief, regret, sorrow. What, oh, express surprise. Bravo expresses praise or applause. Fe expresses contempt. O expresses wish. Examples: direct. Sohan said, "Hurrah, we have won the match." Indirect. Sohan exclaimed with joy that they had won the match. Direct. She said, "Alas, my only son is dead." Indirect. She exclaimed with sorrow that her only son was dead. Direct. They said, "Bravo, well played." Indirect. They applauded him, saying that he had played very well. Direct. She said, "What a beautiful flower the rose is." Indirect. She exclaimed that the rose was a beautiful flower. Direct. She said, "May God grant peace to the departed soul." Indirect. She prayed that God might grant peace to the departed soul. Direct. He said, "How clever she is." Indirect. He exclaimed that she was very clever. G. Use of let in imperative sentences. Let is used 1. To make a proposal. 2. To allow or to persuade. 3. To express concession or contrast. 1. When let expresses a proposal or suggestion, the reporting verb is changed to purpose, to propose or suggest, and let is replaced by should as direct. I said to him, let's play. Indirect. I proposed or suggested to him that we should play. 2. When let means to allow or persuade, it is changed to infinitive to let or to the phrase might be allowed to as direct. I said to him, let me have my own way in that matter. Indirect. I requested him to let me have my own way in that matter. Or I requested him that I might be allowed to have my own way in that matter. 3. When let expresses concession or contrast, it is changed to might as direct. I said, let him try ever so hard, he will not succeed. Indirect. I said, he would not succeed however hard he might try. H. Conversion of exclamatory and optative sentences from direct to indirect speech. Rules for change into indirect speech. 1. Change the reporting verb to exclaimed, wished or prayed. 2. Do away the words such as hurrah, alas, bravo and express their sense by use of joy, sorrow or applaud. 3. Change the exclamatory sentences to assertive. 4. Change of pronouns and tenses as before. Hurrah, ha, express joy. Alas, express grief, regret, sorrow. What, oh, express surprise. Bravo expresses praise or applause. Fe expresses contempt. O expresses wish. Examples. Direct. Sohan said, hurrah, we have won the match. Indirect. Sohan exclaimed with joy that they had won the match. Direct. She said, alas, my only son is dead. Indirect. She exclaimed with sorrow that her only son was dead. Direct. They said, bravo, well played. Indirect. They applauded him, saying that he had played very well. Direct. She said, what a beautiful flower the rose is. Indirect. She exclaimed that the rose was a beautiful flower. Direct. She said, may God grant peace to the departed soul. Indirect. She prayed that God might grant peace to the departed soul. Direct. He said, how clever she is. Indirect. He exclaimed that she was very clever.